Okay, so full disclosure, I've never made a cobbler before. But since I still had half a punnet of peaches left over from last week's breast milk special, click the link if you want to see how that went. Cobbler seemed like a nice, familiar, comforting way to use them. Unfortunately, this channel doesn't exactly thrive on the familiar or the comforting. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Oh yeah, this is going to be spicy. It's also going to have meat in it, but we'll get to that. Anywho, red onion. Only need half of it. Roughly chunk it and into a mini chopper. Thumb-sized chunk of ginger. There is a less wasteful way to peel this with a spoon, but I'm doing this the lazy way. See how much easier that is? Slicey and in with the onions. Few cloves of garlic. Knife. Whoya! Don't need to worry too much about mincing this one, but you do want to peel it. Should I be cruel and just play this clip in full? Of course I will. There we go. Second clove. There we go. Done. These into the processor too. I'm just making a start with these, getting them chopped before adding the rest. There we are, that'll do. Right, now the spice mixed chili first and foremost. This would normally be fresh Scotch bonnet, but I'm going with dried habanero, mainly because I have dry habanero in the cupboard that needed to be used up, so, you know. Bit of dried oregano, mace, cinnamon, allspice, ground clove, and this is really Christmassy. Anyway, grate in some nutmeg, brown sugar, splash of vegetable oil, spill a little bit over the edge, why not? There we are, blend it into a paste. There, jerk spice paste. Great for stews, roasts and cobblers. It's all good. Let's try a little bit of, ooh, yeah, that is, you know that's gonna pack a punch. Love it. Next crucial ingredient for any peach cobbler. I'm going with shoulder because it can stand up to longer cooking times. Let's go with 2 actually, there we are. Get these steaks stripped. Get these strips cubed. There, what's that? Half an inch I guess? As long as they're all roughly the same. Let's get these browned off. Good hot pan. You don't want to cook it through, you just want to brown the outside. You know how it works, I'm sure. Looking good. Get these off to one side, then we want to get all of this tasty brown crap off the bottom of the pan and into my pie. So let's deglaze this with some orange juice. Scrapey scrapey. And let's just keep this over here with the pork. Now, remember we only used half an onion? Go get the other half. Get this peeled. The fuck is that? Goodbye. Grim. Anyway, cut down the middle. Then cut this into little quarter rings. Great. Lower heat this time, medium-ish. Onions, and let's just get these softened a little bit. Tablespoon of that jerk paste. Yeah, let's then go in with 2.5. Mix it all in, and in with half a pint of chicken stock. This actually ended up being a little bit too much, so if you decide to cook along, stop before it looks this wet. Get that pork back into the pan, and I'm going to let this reduce down to a thick stew. Yeah, like that. Took me about an hour, give or take. I should probably put some peaches into this peach cobbler, huh? Get these peeled, get these chopped, get these into the pan. I'm putting these in now rather than earlier because I don't want them to turn into mush when you reduce everything down. Don't forget they got another 40 minutes or so of cooking in the oven, so maybe I shouldn't put the pork in either. Speaking of which, get these into an oven-safe dish. You don't want to be as generous with this as I was, or the weight of the cobbler is just going to displace all of that sauce and create a big drippy mess. About 3/4 full is fine. So yeah, let's crack on with this cobbler topping. 300 grams of self-raising flour. 75 grams of unsalted butter, fridge temperature. This probably isn't a safe way to do this, don't copy me or you might lose a finger. Shake it. Lid, and now blitz this together to that sandy, shortbready stage. Season, salt, good amount of black pepper, I mean really fucking go to town with this. bit of dried sage, and a teaspoon or so of caraway seeds. Just going to mix this together the lazy way. There we go. Add 160 ml of buttermilk until it starts coming together. Now in with an egg. There we go, cobbler mix. Gotta be honest, I am looking forward to trying this. Kinda reminds me of dumpling mix or cookie dough if we're going off the texture. Ooh, that would be something to try. Put this on top of the stew, by the way. Start at the edges and work your way in. But yeah, cookie dough topped cobbler. Would that work? There's a lot of fat in cookie dough and it's kinda melty, but I think that idea is worth playing around with. This is sticky as fuck. There we go, how's that for a hot mess? There's probably a way to make this a bit more photogenic, but I'm not going to bother. Not like I'm filming this or anything. But yeah, in seriousness, I feel like them crags and scrags are going to make nice little textural pockets here and there. Let's get some egg wash onto this thing. Into all of them little bumps and bits. There we go. Now into a 180 oven for 20 minutes or so. Ooh, spur of the moment idea. Well, as spur of the moment as rearranging the camera and lighting setups will allow for, but yeah, spur of the moment. Few sprigs of rosemary, get them separated. Little drizzle of olive oil, that'll help crisp these when they go into the oven. Let's get this out. Look at that, that already looks great. Any halfway decent chef would look at that and think, yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna leave it like that because I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, my judgment ain't great. Rosemary's going to taste fantastic though. Back into the oven for the last 10 minutes and then let's have a look. Yeah, who says I can't cook? Jump cut this onto the chopping board and let's breach the barricade. Wow, okay, yeah, that spice mix is potent, you know that's there. The pork works so well with all of it, but that's nothing new to you. Jerk pork is old as the hills. Peaches work really great with this as well. What? I feel like a little bit of that spice mix into a regular peach cobbler would be absolutely amazing. You don't have to go savoury. Pork is still tender, it might be a little bit overcooked, maybe I shouldn't have reduced it down with the pork in the pan, but it's not exactly overcooked, it's just not, you can see for yourself. That cobbler topping is absolutely amazing, never had it before. It's like a really nice halfway place between dumpling mix and sort of a pie. It is absolutely, I am making more cobblers, I am a convert to cobblers, that's a lot easier than a pie. Assuming that you would normally make a pie with pastry underneath and on top, but yeah. Easier than that sort of a pie. Not as easy as the type of pie that you'd make if you just put a sheet of shop bought pastry on top of some sort of filling, but this is gorgeous. I'm going to make more cobblers. Recommend me some more cobbler flavours that I can make down in the comments. Sweet flavours this time, not peach. I think peach is sort of a bit obvious. What? Them little bits of rosemary taste great. Not really good enough to justify overcooking the top, but you know, it's still good. But yeah. Jerk pork peach cobbler. If you're going to taste anything from this show, this is a definite one to try. I'm really digging this. And yeah, not much else to say here, so until next time, get forked.